Alright guys, welcome to video number 2 where I call realtors and I basically convince them to sell me their house that they've got listed for creative finance. So this one here is in San Bernadino. I have a client and he wants to buy a house in like Riverside, San Bernadino, Upland, Laverne. So if you're watching this, if you're a realtor, if you're someone that wants to sell your house and you want to sell it on terms, we're happy to offer you market price, sometimes even more if it's a really good property and if it's something that our retail buyer really wants, because this is a property that he wants to live in. So it's a little bit more emotional, but he wants to live in that area, so he's happy to pay a little bit more. So anyway, I'm going to call this realtor and I'm going to see what she says. Actually, let's play the appointment call real quick, so you can hear what the appointment actually sounds like, that my appointment set is doing.
Hi Andrea, this is Rachel from CMC Acquisitions. Sorry for calling us at an early hour. I'm actually calling regarding property in San Bernadino. Yeah. Oh yeah, actually, so I see that it actually meets our criteria right now. And we're calling from CMC Acquisitions. We are real estate investors. We have an end buyer looking to purchase property in San Bernardino right now. And so we just wanted to know if the current owners would be interested in creative offers where we come in at asking price. They will actually offer to pay the full price, and also closing costs and your commissions, okay? But while they held onto a note for a specified period of time. So I just wanted to know if they'd be open to this before we actually send in an offer.
Okay, so you submit an offer at asking price, cover closing costs, along with my commission and the cash.
Okay, so the cash would be held into a note for a period of time. So usually the timing we would specify, and we would always be happy to work with whatever they might be comfortable with.
So she asked like, what's the catch? So she wants to know how it works. She doesn't know how it works.
And we could go into more details for you if you like. My partner goes directly with the end buyer, his name is Carlos. Okay, so
That's me.
we could talk to you more about it. They ask much more at the time that we be available today.
Sure, you can give me a call. I have a few things that I have to do. Carlos can give me a call later.
One time we can be perfect. So he'll do that, okay? Thank you very much.
Cool. Alright, let's give her a call.
Hello, this is Andrea speaking.
Andrea, how are you? It's Carlos here. I'm just calling about your listing in San Bernardino. I believe you spoke to Rachel earlier today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Awesome. Sorry I'm a little late. I got held up on my last call. So, but yeah, so we're really interested in this one. I'm not sure how much Rachel actually explained. She did give me a quick rundown, but she said that when she called you, she gave you a quick rundown of that our client is looking for a property that he can buy on some sort of creative finance, and I'm not sure if Rachel didn't actually mention if you had experience with it, so she asked me to give you a call just to go through like the more specific details. Is this something that you've had? Yep.
So regarding the creative financing, can you please elaborate on it? She talked about it, but I still was not fully. I didn't fully understand exactly how it would benefit my client in order to present.
Perfect. And look, my intention on this call is to make it make sense, right? Because I know, because this is something that's if it's something that's completely brand new, when you take it to your client, anything that they don't know or anything that's brand new, they'll stay away from just because of fear of the unknown. But there's another client that we're closing on a property on. It's supposed to close a few days ago, but it's either going to close tomorrow or tomorrow, because tomorrow's Friday. It's in Riverside. Similar situation. They had it listed for about 60 days when we called, and it's a $750,000 home. They owe about $104,000. They've got $104,000 in equity, the remaining is the existing mortgage balance. So to help them out, what we did is we gave them a down payment of $35,000 on closing. So actually, we're giving them $35,000 on closing day. The remaining balance of the equity, where there's going to be a note which will be on second position after the mortgage, and we're going to be paying that back over time. So over a certain period of time, they're going to be getting a monthly payment, and they've agreed to keep the mortgage in their name for a certain period of time as well, and we're taking over the monthly payment. So for the seller, they their biggest issue was we want to sell the house. We don't want to keep paying this mortgage payment every single month, because they already moved. Like 3 months ago, they moved down to LA, and this was like a headache, because they had to continue paying that mortgage, the HOA costs as well. So we literally just took over everything, including the payment of their equity as well every single month. So
that makes sense. Okay, now I have a question in regards to, like, let's say for whatever reason you guys don't make a payment. Does the seller actually take back the note, and everything that you paid him, basically it's your loss and his gain?
Exactly. Yeah, so what most people think could be the worst case scenario would actually result in being the best case scenario for the seller. Because let's say the buyer is making payments for 2 years, they've paid down the debt, and they're also paying down the note. If we end up defaulting in 2 years in the actual contract, and we gotta work out what we put in the contract, but it could say if there's a 30-day default, we have to transfer the deed back to the seller, and then the seller. Yeah.
Okay. So the contract with it. So if you default within 2 years, then it goes back to the seller.
Anytime. So 2 years is just an example, but it could be like the first month, or it could be the second month after that.
Depending on the contract, depending on how long it takes for you guys to pay. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. So see, the thing is with this property, I don't think it's going to work, because there's no mortgage. There's zero balance on the mortgage, so all the proceeds go to him directly.
Okay.
And I know my client's not going to be interested in that.
Okay, cool. So he owns the property outright. There's no underlying mortgage. And what's the reason that he's selling the property?
He wants to sell it. He's a builder, so he wants to build, and he wants to build on one of his lots.
Okay. And so this property right now is his primary, or like?
It is his primary.
This is his primary. Okay. And does he need like a minimum amount that he needs to cash out on this particular property to put towards his new house, or like what's the situation?
He basically he would need about, I'm not sure exactly the amount, but he needs everything.
He needs everything.
Cover his bills.
Okay.
His expenses and permits and city and everything, topography report, everything.
Okay, so he hasn't started the build yet. Like this is he's still in the initial stages of trying to sell this house before he even started building out the new property.
What do you mean? Like he's working on he already has his lot, his vacant lot.
Yeah.
He already knows what he wants. He already has an engineer, his architect. He's got committing. I'm not sure if he already submitted the plans to the city or not. I'm not quite sure on that, but I know he wants to spend. He wants his money. How much of it does he need? I don't know. All I know is that he wants all of it. We've had several offers. We were in escrow at full ask. And unfortunately, the buyers couldn't perform. Buyers kept us not stuck, but kept us there. Really want the house. We really want the house. Blah blah blah. But ultimately, they couldn't perform. They switched different types. They switched from the VA to a FHA, and then ultimately, like I said, it didn't work out.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, appraisal came in, everything is good on that, on the financial portion of it. It's a great home, I'm gonna sell it, it's just a matter of getting that right buyer to come and,
Yeah.
take it.
What's the time frame? Like, basically, what I'm trying to understand, is there like a deadline that he needs to sell this house in order to start on his new house, or like what's?
He doesn't have a deadline, he really doesn't. When he sells it, he sells it, as long as he gets what he wants for it, he'd be happy for it. I mean, unless if you are willing to pay, the largest portion of it, and I don't know if you guys do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that we could do is, because if there's no time frame, and the second house is not like contingent on him selling this particular house, our client is more than happy to pay extra for the house. So, like, because this is listed at 720. Now, I haven't run comps on this just yet, but I'm assuming that it's fair market. It's not discounted. It's just a fair price for what the house is. I'd be interested to know what the seller would think if we gave them more money for the actual house in return for the seller actually taking payments on the house. They'd still get a down payment, so we'd still make a down payment for their property, but we would be overpaying for the house in return for the seller receiving payments for the house. That's if the new house is not contingent on this one being sold. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's not contingent, he's going to build on it, he's going to build on his lot. So it'll take some time, so I don't know how that would work, I really don't. Yeah, I don't know, if you have something in writing, please feel free to present, but as far as what he'll take, I don't have an answer for you on that.
Yeah. Because what I'm thinking is making an offer at 800, right? But the seller would hold a note for that 800. It would be first position, obviously. And then we would just structure payments to get them paid back in full with a balloon. So they're not going to hold the whole 800 for the entire 30 years. We can structure a balloon in there, because the seller's going to end up refinancing anyway in the next like 5 or 7 years. And then that way.
Can you? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I don't know if you would do it, to be honest, but I don't have an answer for you. I really don't.
Yeah, no. Obviously, this is something you have, because you can't. Yeah, you got to speak to him. Like, you can't decide on his behalf. But I'm just trying to workshop what, like, the different ways that we can make it work. Because obviously he wants to sell the house, my buyer wants to buy, but obviously it's been listed for a while. My buyer has some limitations as well, like he can't just pay the whole $720 million cash.
I'm curious, how does your buyer make money out of this?
He wouldn't. It's a homestead, so he's a retail buyer. He would be living in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
all right. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, if you want to submit the offer and I can present and go from there.
out of curiosity as well, you said that you guys had received other like offers. Were they creative? Like, have you received other offers that were creative that the seller was either considering or potentially even turned down?
I don't think for this. No, I don't think for this property now. For this property with my listings, yes. With a different seller, yes.
Okay, so for this one, this would be the first one, first conversation. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I've had a conversation like this with anybody else.
Okay, cool. Does it all make sense, by the way? Like how it would work if he was open to it?
I don't know. I wouldn't. It's so new. This would be so new to him, so I don't have the answer for you. I really don't. If I did, I would tell you, don't waste your time, or But I don't have. I can't speak for him on this.
Yeah, we're quite early in the conversation. All right, cool, Andrea. Well, look, what I'll do is I'll I'm going to send you through an FAQ on like just basic seller financing. That way you can send it to the seller. It may help answer some questions. And then I'll send like a basic offer, like a preliminary offer of like what we could structure. We're open to a counter offer. But look, what I can tell you is I ran this property through my buyer, and like he really wants it. So he's happy to pay extra for it as long as we can structure payments that work for everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me know. Let me know how we can do it.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Feel free to give me a call or text me if you have any questions about the email that I send you.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Cool. Awesome, Andrea. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. See ya.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We'll be in touch. Thanks.
Cool, guys. So look, you can't win every single conversation on the first try. Like this one was, the realtor has never received a creative offer for this particular house, meaning that she's never had the conversation with the seller. So any information that I'm giving her right now is very like, she's going to take it, and you know, depending on what she understood and depending on the information that I send her, she's then going to run it by the seller, and then the conversation will start, because this is kind of like the opener. Let me plant the seed for the realtor. She's going to have a chat to the seller. I'll even send the offer. I'm going to send an offer for, I won't do 800,000. I'll probably do like, I'm going to check comps, but I'll add an extra maybe 30, 40 grand in there. But I'm going to ask for 0% interest and make a payment plan over 30 years. But the buyer won't take 30 years to pay it back. Like we'll add like everything to be paid back in, we'll start at 15 years and then let them negotiate with us. Guys, if you found value in this video, drop a comment, ask me questions, something you didn't understand, ask me questions, because my intention is to give you guys as much value as possible. Peace out.